Hey guys, so I am here to present my final presentation for Pattern Drafting Essentials. So this is my flat illustration. I wanted to create a tie dress, so pretty much a straight dress with a tie on the sides to tie on the back, and some flowy bell sleeves, high-low bell sleeves, with a mock neck collar. This is my fashion illustration. I completely forgot to do a back illustration, but you can see in this that there's a place for the zipper and a place for a tie in the back as well. But this is kind of the idea. I added ruffles to the neckline and the sleeves just because that's kind of how my design turned out when I sewed it all together. My inspiration for this was I actually have a dress that's kind of similar to this, just with a different neckline and sleeves, but I loved the body of it because it's like the exact same thing. It's a straight dress with ties on the side, and when you tie it in the back, that just really very subtly and beautifully accentuates the figure of the body. And I have just been obsessed with bell sleeves lately, especially like the high-low flowy bell sleeves, and mock necks have always been my favorite. So I just put all of those elements together to include into this dress, and I definitely eventually want to make this into a real design. So here's the front and back view. Yeah, you can see that this is how it turned out. The sleeves and the neckline, I didn't plan to have ruffles there, but the fabric kind of ended up not completely fitting perfectly. But honestly, I really like the ruffles. I think it really added to it, so I'm really happy about how that turned out. And then here it is untied. So this is what it looks like tied. This is what it looks like untied. I didn't have any pins to pin the back, but you get the gist. That's where the zipper goes. And then these are the side views. You can see that I added a dart, a bust dart on the sides, and then you can kind of see in the back it's a little bit wrinkled, but there are little shoulder darts at the shoulders in the back. That is the sides. And then this is the facing. That was interesting to figure out because the facing was very much curved and the mock neck was straight, so I kind of had to ruffle it, but I think that it turned out pretty well. And then this is the front and back patterns of the bodice. I guess torso. I used a torso sloper to make this, and I couldn't scan these because my scanner is not big enough, so I just had to take as good of a picture of them as I could. But yeah, it was super easy. I just traced out the torso sloper, and then I just added length and I just made it go straight so that so that it would create a straight dress. But then I also added the dart and the bust dart, and then the shoulder dart on the back bodice. And then this was the high-low bell sleeve. I literally just took a normal bell sleeve pattern and I just made it go, I just kind of slanted it a little bit so you can kind of see how it curves up, and it's kind of like, what shape is that? Kind of like a mini, like kind of like a flat W, like a curved line. And you can kind of see how when you create that into a circle, that will create a high-low element. And then this is the mock neck collar and the side tie pattern, which was pretty easy to make. And I did that on the bias to give that some stretch so that you're not choking yourself when you're, wearing the dress. And then this is the front facing and the front neck facing and the back neck facing. And yeah, so those are all of my patterns. Steps I took to create this pattern was just, thinking about how my favorite dress was made, and then looking at my textbook to see what my favorite style elements were so I could include that into my pattern. And yeah, so my struggles definitely was probably the neckline and the sleeves, just because I kind of had to figure out how to fit that and how to gather it right so it still looked good. And then my successes, I think that it ended up just really all coming together in the end. And it really, I'm really happy with how the ruffles turned out, even though that's not what I was expecting. And I learned a lot. I've learned a lot from this class, and I feel like I have a way better understanding of how to connect patterns with sewing and how to kind of create that in my pattern making. So yeah, that is what I learned, and I hope that you guys enjoyed, and that is the end. Thank you guys for listening. Bye.